You don't have to answer this, but were you a straight A student?
Heck no.
Me neither.
Wait a minute.
Whenever I can help somebody, and so if we can alleviate some of that stress and get it done for them in the field office, and it's rewarding on a daily basis whenever you can help somebody like that.
Hello and welcome to Good Job New Mexico. I'm your host, Stacy Johnston, and I am joined once again by Veronica Robledo-Morris. Hello.
Hi.
Today we're talking to our very own Rose Lopez, who is in our Human Resources Bureau, and talking about how to get into human resources and what her whole career path was to that place. And I think for most people, and I know myself included, I think you go to college, you get a degree, and then you're in human resources. But her story is totally different.
Yep. She didn't go the same path as you would think everybody else would go through. She kind of went her own path, I would say.
Yeah, and I think sometimes you get called into a position that you weren't even expecting.
Anybody would hopefully take that opportunity to learn something new, and maybe it would be a great career path for them.
Yeah, and I love how she was talking about, I wasn't sure if this is really what I wanted to do. I really liked where I was, but she took that chance, and now she's considering moving even further within human resources. So it's amazing. Sometimes you just take that step into the unknown, and you just don't know what you're going to get.
And I think she does a great job at it. I think, it was a great career path for her. And I think, she's really gained a lot of knowledge. And because of that, I think she grew to love it. And that's why she wants to continue doing what she's doing.
For sure. Would you go into HR?
No.
Oh, the honest truth. Why not?
I don't know. I really like the path that I'm taking. So I think for me, my path is with what I love to do. And so I don't think that would be something that's really kind of geared towards my interests, maybe. Mm-hmm. But I think anybody can try something. I mean, I tried, different things and found something that I really enjoy and like to go to every day.
For sure. I think I'd try it.
Would you?
Yeah, I think I'd dive in. I like talking to people. I used to be, I don't know. I'm an introvert.
I was going to say I'm an introvert.
I'm an introvert. Maybe it doesn't seem like it, but I am. And so that would be different, but maybe this would be like a building block to like push myself even farther to really talking to people. And plus I like helping people. And I think at the end of the day, that's exactly what human resources is. It's a place you can go for help, a place that you can go to for your employee needs. And then it's like through life changes. They're there for you. Are you having a baby? Did you just get married? All the things that you need to know those forms. Actually, there's a lot you need to know in HR, but it sounds like from Rose's story, they just were able to mentor her through that whole thing, and she's thriving. Yeah. And now she's doing the same for the newbies.
You can go to her, and she usually has the answer. And you're just like, okay, great, thanks. Or if she doesn't, she's going to help you figure it out. But I think it is a great opportunity for people to be more extrovert, I guess. I'm not an extrovert.
I think you could be.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take you to more functions, and you're going to get out there, try something new.
I like to keep my path. I don't like to steer away.
Too bad, so sad. Taking you with me. So anyway, without further ado, please enjoy Rose Lopez. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
Everybody wants to know about human resources, which we might refer to as HR a little later.
That works.
You grew up in New Mexico, but not in Albuquerque, right?
Correct. Born and raised in Clovis, New Mexico. I left there when I was 22 and haven't been back since, and bounced around all over, and Albuquerque or Los Lunas is now my home.
Perfect. And what was your first job there in Clovis?
I was at the Golden Corral there and off of Mayberry. I started off on the line, and then I went from there to waitressing and just stood there until I actually left Clovis.
Okay, I don't want to hear any stories about buffet restaurants.
I'm too much of a germaphobe
honestly,
for that.
I think it's best if we all just don't know.
Surprisingly, back then, it was steak service first, and then it went to the buffet that y'all know now.
Okay, remember Luby's?
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Loved it. Remember the original furs?
Love it.
I mean, nothing wrong with the way it is now. People love it, whatever. But I loved it. Where you got your tray and then you just walked down the line and there's someone on the other side and you said, yes, I'll have the green Jell-O. Yes, I want the mac and cheese.
It's like you're going through a cafeteria line. Like at school,
Yes.
they would serve you.
Cafeteria line.
Believe it or
loved
not,
it.
that was my second job. Was that
What-
first cafeteria, and it was the original one there.
Okay.
So on Hilltop Plaza. So shout out to all the Clovis people listening, and yeah, really different, and pretty much started in food service from the very beginning. Yeah.
Was that like a normal go-to job for youth?
Actually, no. Well, there in Clovis, yes, but mostly a lot of the kids either went to Taco Box, the twin cronies.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I was different. I went after the age of 18. I started late in life. I didn't have a high school job because my mom and dad said, you go to school, high school, and you get that done. And then from there, you will get a job or either go to college. So it was our choice, but not a high school fan of work, not at all.
Was your family like that? Because mine was like, you're 16, are you going to get a job now?
No, they're like, you need to learn responsibility. You're getting a job and a bank account, and you're going to save money.
No. Our job was school.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we never had that responsibility of having to work during the school year or during the summer. No.
You don't have to answer this, but were you a straight A student?
Heck no.
Me neither.
Wait a minute.
Heck no, that was the furthest thing from my mind.
Okay, so after high school, what was your career goals? Where did you want to go next?
I knew Clovis wasn't going to be the place that I wanted to settle down. So I ended up leaving and actually moving here for a couple of months and then getting married and being married to a service member and then got stationed overseas. So basically we just bounced around, and, you know, when you're married to the military, you don't have a career because you're moving. And basically where you're at, you get whatever you do there and then move to the next city and go from there.
Was that really hard to constantly pivot?
No, because once you, it depends on how you want to look at it. Either there was a people that just took the job just to have something to do and not be involved in community in the Air Force or the military life, should we say. And then there's people that just wanted the job just to fulfill their daily needs. And that was what I was doing, just fulfilling the day to not be bored. No, so it was, I'm not knocking the food service, but it is, you know, just something that was filling the void there for me. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Did you stay in the States or did you go overseas?
We went to Okinawa, Japan. Still
I
there
could
for
talk
3 years.
forever about this. Did you love it? Was
Loved
the
it.
heat like not for you?
The heat was for me, but it was with mixed with humidity as well. So I
Yes.
loved it. I loved it. I did not want to come back stateside.
Honestly, I've never experienced that kind of heat plus humidity ever.
Loved it.
You just thrived in it.
I loved it. It was something different from the dry heat in Clovis.
Oh,
And then being there and experiencing hot humidity days all the time, it was nice. I loved it.
My hair would not like the humidity.
honestly, I survived vending machine to vending machine because I was like, I am so thirsty the whole time.
No, you just adapt. It was really very easy to adapt into the culture and everything. I don't regret that time there at all. It was fun. Learn how to swim for the first time, scuba dive, just
awesome.
different things. There's a lot of things to do in the military. So, you know, if that's somebody's venture in life to join the military, then do it and travel and get to know the different areas of the world. It's awesome.
That's why I went there because my brother was in the Air Force. So I
Oh,
went to go
nice.
visit him there.
Nice.
And he was actually the radio DJ that was there. And I got to just sit in the corner and just watch him do his DJ thing. And he and I are very into 80s music. So
Okay.
it was like, this is the best. We just sat there and listened to 80s music while he did his job. And then we got to like go and do a little vacation. So you're traveling around military and then it brings you back here to Albuquerque eventually. So when you come back here, what's your next move?
Actually, I moved back to Albuquerque and I was working at UNM there. So did that for a year and
Which is a really great job to get in there.
working for the university, yes.
And then you started your para retirement through that job?
That one is actually ERB.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't stay with that one. Then I went to PNM. From PNM, I went to Princeton Place, the nursing home over there off of Louisiana. And then from there, I came here to the States. working for the Department of Workforce Solutions, and I've been here ever since. 15 years in August, y'all. So, yeah.
So you come here to the Department of Workforce Solutions, and what was your first job when you came in here?
Working for the department, I started working downstairs in general services, and I was hired into the mail center down there and stood in that department for 3 years.
And this is where I remember you, because this
Yes.
is where we met.
This is where we met, yeah.
And so you're in the midst of this for 3 years. How does the opportunity come to you for human resources?
I was asked by the former HR director to come to HR.
What was your thought?
No, please. I was really scared from it because I was used to being a free soul out there in the building and visiting with people, and being in HR kind of secluded me to a desk. So I was like really still shocked at the opportunity, but it's flourished to where I am now. So I'm thankful for the opportunity that was given to me at the time.
And so when they first brought you there to HR, did they set you up with trainings, or how did you get acclimated into the work?
I was thrown into it, if I'm going to be honest.
Learn as you go.
Learn as you go,
Aren't we
yes.
all?
Yes, learn as we go, and I did enjoy it. I had Veronica always helping me on the side, so that was a very nice thing for me to have on my side.
So what was your first role in HR? Like, what did you start out doing?
The HR assistant for former HR director. Yeah. She was my first boss, so yeah.
What other levels did you have within HR?
I moved up from the HR assistant to the HR basic, operational, advanced, and now there's a level 4. So there's not an operational, basic, or advanced anymore. It's by levels, and the 4th level is the highest one now. So in the 13 years, I've advanced to the 4th level.
Was there a time where you're like, I actually really love this and I'm so happy that I did this? Or was it like a slow burn?
Actually, probably after my 6 months, then I was like, okay, this is different, this is new, and I'll take it for whatever challenges are coming my way. And been happy with the job so far this whole entire time. So I haven't had a bad day. It's continuously keeps on rolling and rolling. If it's a bad day, it's a bad day, and then the next day is a new day. So it's not a bad thing, and it's HR does have that stigma of being the bad bear of the building, and it's not. You know, you just got to give us all a chance and come visit us and get to know us. You know, I know we have people that think it's a bad thing, but it's not. And that was my stigma too. Whenever I first moved up, I was HR. Are you kidding me? I don't want to be there, and I'd rather stay here. But it has that stigma, and we try to get away from it, and we probably should be more open to people coming and visit us and not, you know, thinking that we're the bad news bears in there. We're actually here to help you out any way we can.
Yeah, and I think it's still keeping with your people, because people need human resources and they're constantly coming in. You're getting to see the new people that we have coming to the agency, the people that are retiring. I mean, It's a constant interaction with staff still.
It is. It really is. And we've kind of went away from that one-on-one of doing a phone call and making the job offer to it being through email. So that's kind of changed a lot. You know, we do have people that come in for new employer orientation, but I'm not like I was previously, that I was the only one handling it, and I could see the new people coming in. I only handle it once every 8 pay periods, so it's kind of hard to know new people whenever they come in, because even if I go down there and introduce myself to them, I don't remember them because I only went in there for 15 minutes, and then I'm back to work, and I couldn't remember the person that I just was introduced to, should I say.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, there's so many people to remember.
I will say that getting that phone call of a job offer is like so exciting, but I feel like it's not the same when you get it in an email.
No, it's not. Some people are excited. They're all like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the opportunity. But to hear it actually in person, it warms my heart, you know, and I do miss that part of the job. I wish I could go back to it, but, you know, times evolve and I got to stay with the changes or else I'm out of a job.
You'll be waiting for that email.
Possibly, but I don't want to, so I have to evolve.
What do you find most rewarding in HR?
Whenever I can help somebody, and especially if they're in the office crying and, you know, it's through no fault of their own and we could resolve their issue, then it makes me ecstatic to know that we help them overcome that barrier, because even though some people are in the field offices and they don't have that interaction like the people here in the TIWA building, it kind of makes it harder for us to communicate. So if we can alleviate some of that stress and get it done for them in the field office, it makes the job worth it. And it's rewarding on a daily basis whenever you can help somebody like that.
How many staff do we have in the agency?
Last count was 550.
I feel like it's 800.
Yeah, I feel like it's way more.
I don't think
Because does that include local offices?
that includes everybody,
Oh, wow.
including
Okay.
the interns, wage sub, and career link staff as well.
But that's a lot of people to track and to help. Does nothing annoy you more than when people don't put their time in?
Yes, timesheet entry, please, everybody who's listening to this, put your time in early. I don't care if it's a daily basis, but just do it before payroll starts running on Friday for us, okay?
I think about it. I think about it real hard. Like it's coming up, and then the email shows up, and I'm like, didn't I just do this? But then I keep thinking about it, and then I get those scary emails where like, you must do this now. I'm like, message received, stopping everything, and doing my time.
I've gotten better, but I'm a last minute put it in. It's like with my SAT testing. I wait till the very last email.
Yeah, this must be like 20% actually do it early, and the rest of
Yes.
us are here in the last minute.
Yes. And I liked it so much better when we had positive time reporting, where we only put in the exceptions of our annual and sick leave. I love that time.
Stacy and I were talking that we do like the new emails, like the
Oh, yeah. So new emails just came out this last week that was like, don't ghost us. It was so good. Get your time in. I mean, you got to keep it fresh. So people are like,
Yes.
that's funny. Let me go do my time.
Yes, I think they read it though and say, I'll do it in a minute, and then they don't do
Okay,
it.
I'm not going to lie. I did. I read it and I was like, that's so funny. And then it took me another day. Then I did it.
If the emails that we got from DFA were any indication of people reading the email, then they read it but didn't do anything with it. So we're like, okay, let's continue on, hopefully, but we'll just chalk it up as a loss and try to figure it out again and see what we could do to get people on time entry.
Okay, so there's the time stuff. Is there anything else in HR that's like, I wish more people did this on time? Or like, is there any myths about HR?
Well, I'm going to help the training team. So if there's a training that's been sent to you, do the training, because we're not involved in the training anymore. That has been given to the training department. So SAT comes from them, and sexual harassment, everything will come from the training department. So
Sexual harassment prevention. I just want
Yes,
to say that's
yes.
one of the trainings.
Yes, sorry about that. Get it done. When you receive the email, just do it, because we have to do a lot of cleanup at the end of the month and either suspend your access or, write
That'd
you a
be me.
disciplinary notice. So just get your trainings done in a timely manner and, avoid the nasty emails to your supervisor.
Yeah, those are the hard ones. When it goes to your supervisor and they're CC'd and it's like, oh.
Veronica,
Okay.
you need to do your SAT. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm thankful that the training team actually did take over that whole complete process from HR. So that alleviated a lot of stuff for us to do on the back end. So I'm thankful for that 100%. And, the training team is doing an awesome job. They've incorporated everything into one module now. So hopefully everybody pays attention to the emails and does their training and doesn't give them a hard time where they're having to reach out to supervisors. So please just do your trainings and enter your time. That's all we ask.
So little.
She's all, it's that simple. Have you ever had to mediate a really difficult conflict in HR?
No, not yet. Thank goodness.
Oh my gosh, knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. I do need to take the training in order to do mediation. So when that comes up, I probably will have to sign up for it, because that's probably my next level of assisting Raquel and Olene with is mediation and doing investigations and stuff like that. So that's my next level of trainings that I have to take would be
Yeah. So
dispute resolution That's what it's called.
So it's constant learning for your own position as well.
Yes,
And things that you need to advance to another level.
correct.
Are you wanting to continue to grow from a generalist to a supervisor to bureau chief, or what's your aspirations?
Thinking I have till the end of the year to decide if I want to stay in the supporting role of an HR generalist or move on to an HR manager. I have 5 years to retirement, and that's going to be my deciding factor of how I'm going to navigate the last 5 years of service to the state of New Mexico.
Isn't that wild? It goes by in such a blink.
Yes.
You have 5 years left.
But remember, okay, so you people don't think that I'm not here that long. I will be here 20 years, and I'm leaving with 20 years of service with the state. So service and 60 years of age. So there's where I'll be at. And hopefully it's an easygoing 5 years, depending on the route I take.
So here's hoping no conflict resolution. But you'll have that training in your back pocket if you should need it.
I think you should stay another 10 years because that's how long I have.
I think I would buy my service then. And I'd be like, I'm with you, but not technically.
That's what I tell Stacy. You're not allowed to retire. You still have 10 years.
I know, right? I mean, it just goes by so fast.
It really does.
It does. It does, and to see a bunch of people that are still in the agency, I'm all like, I know they're going to retire pretty soon. So, that job knowledge is going to leave us. And, the new staff really needs to work with tenured staff to get that job knowledge because it does help the agency long term, and I know a lot of people come in with their fresh ideas and stuff like that, but listen to the tenured staff because they know the shortcuts that can help you learn your job faster and more efficiently, so be open to both sides. Tenured staff, look at the new people coming into the agency because they're looking at it with new eyes and they can help you to learn shortcuts that can help them as well. So it's a give and take on both parts.
Okay, so we have to ask somebody who's in human resources, what are your hot tips for applications? What are your hot tips for interviews?
Hot tips for applications. I know that everybody's on board for that Indeed application format, but, for the state, you really need to cater your application to what the job posting entails,
Those keywords.
Those keywords, yes. And if you're not putting them in there, we can't give you the credit for that time frame. Definitely make sure that you have your months and years of service in there, because if you just put the years of service, we can't give you the credit for it because we don't know when you technically started for the job and when you ended the job. So make sure you have that month and year service date on the application. Make sure you have your references on there because nothing kills us more than to reach out to you to give references, and that should have been included in your application. Also,
so probably just really pay attention to all the things that are required
details.
for the application. Yeah, the fine details.
Fine details.
Which I feel like get us.
Yeah, it really does. And, and even transcripts. Fortunately, now SPO has changed the criteria where you can upload your diploma now instead of requiring your transcripts. So that makes it easier. It's helped out a lot. And it's just the fine details. And, of course, for internal staff, we're able to help you not write your resume, but help you tweak your resume so you can get qualified for a job, because a lot of people do miss out on a lot of their job details. They only put a couple of job details on them, and we're like, well, what else do you do? Yeah. And then when they start saying stuff, and I'm all like, that's not in your resume, change it, help yourself out. Because the work that you're putting into it is exactly what's going to come out on our end. You're not going to pass the minimum qualifications of the job. So put more information in there. Don't go into great detail. Bullet points could be combined possibly, but reach out to your HR generalist for internal staff, and they'll be able to help you.
I went to one interview right out of college. Luckily, I did not go there because I'm happy I'm here. But I had more questions for them than they had for me. And I saw them getting a little nervous. And I was like, but don't you know, blah, 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 blah. And I had just gone to their website and I just wrote things down based on the website. And they're like, actually, we don't know the answer to that, but we'll get back to you.
You're like, oh, this is not the place for me.
Yeah.
But I think you do need to research where you're applying to.
Yes.
So, if you come in here and you're like, well, I have no idea what you do here at Workforce Solutions.
Right. Then what are you applying for?
Yeah.
That's my very first question all the time. And I learned that from my mentor. It's like, what do you know about the Department of Workforce Solutions? And I can't tell you how many times, more than none, is what people are going with. They're saying, I don't actually know, like you do this and that. And then that's it. And I'm like, okay. And then I set my pen down. John's been there. He knows. I've done this to people. And I said, well, this is all the things that we do because our agency is massive. But that could be any company. If you don't know enough about the person that you're interviewing with, it's showing them that you're not truly invested in wanting that job. So that's my take on that.
That was the question that stumped me in my interview, even though I knew it. And luckily, Stacy was like, but you know what it is, don't you? And then I was able to be like, oh, yes, this is what the Department of Workforce Solutions does. But I was so nervous that it just left my mind. But what's a common misconception people have about HR professionals?
That we don't care, and that we don't care that, this happened to you or anything like that. We are sympathetic to your needs, and if we can help you fix it, we can, but you can't come the day before it happens and us not be able to help you anymore, because by then it's out of our hands. And if it has to do with payroll, then it's definitely out of our hands, because we don't generate payroll in-house. That's actually handled by an outside department with the state. So, just give us time, don't tell us the day before it happens. We can help you 100%, just give us the heads up on it. Same thing with resumes. If the job closes tomorrow, don't come at us today saying, look at my resume, and us try to damage control it the day before. So
just like your payroll, make sure you're doing it early.
Ask for help early.
A timely manner, yes.
Okay, this is the story I was looking for, you guys, and I'm sure I've told you before, but I'm on a panel, and this lady walks in, and she's wearing sweats. Problem number one. And then she comes up to the table, she coughs into her hand, and then extends that hand to shake hands. But when she coughed, a piece of spit from her mouth went into the person next to me's eye, into her eye. This is the story I'm looking for. You guys don't have anything.
I don't have those.
Something like that. No.
Here I am with my scared interview.
Honestly, from that point forward, I was like, I can hardly focus. I'm not going to lie on any of her answers.
I would have been out. I'd been out. You just got me sick. I'm leaving.
Yeah, because then after she shook her hands, she's like, sorry, I'm feeling a little under the weather. And I was like, I know.
I would have abort mission.
Yes, if that had been my eye, I would have been like, bye, I'm done. I'm going home. I got to flush out my eye.
We need a Zoom meeting now.
Right? Literally every day is different.
It is.
There's no 2 days that's the same.
No.
And I think it goes for all of us where you come in with a plan for your day and it's totally different
That was me yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes. Got to roll with the punches, because, we think our day's going to be something chill for the whole day. And, here we go to go do an investigation because somebody fell down outside and we got to go find out what happened. Somebody wants an ergonomics.
All the time.
Yeah, HR came and took pictures.
Yeah.
I still have a scar.
What did you do?
Do you see that little scar right there?
Yeah.
I was in the secretary's office, and this is before we remodeled, and I went to pull the blinds because we were taking pictures of the interns, and I went to pull the blinds, and the whole unit from 1953, or I don't know when, that whole heavy thing came down and crashed on my arm and my side, and it gouged me really bad. And I turned to the interns and I go, I'm really glad this happened in front of all of you, because even if you're in a work environment, it could still be a little hazardous.
Yes, there she is. Something happens and she changes it into a teaching moment.
Yeah, but then HR had to come over and take photos for evidence.
Evidence, yeah.
It's interesting.
Same thing, fortunately for the field offices, the managers do it there for us, so I'm thankful for that. But if we ever have to go out and do an ergonomic assessment, we have to go out there and go see how they're sitting at their desk or see how their monitors are. So there's a lot of different daily tasks that change on a daily basis, and, you got to switch that hat pretty quick.
Well, you're doing a fantastic job at it, and I can't wait to see how you progress in the next 5 years. I'm looking forward to all the things and to being in your office more often to say, sorry, I didn't do my payroll on time.
I'll only care whenever I'm in charge of payroll. The other times anybody else is, I'm like,
Rose is like, do it when you need to. It's okay.
Just get it done. Okay, we're going to pivot into rapid, not so rapid questions.
Okay.
Ready?
Sure.
What's your biggest fear or phobia?
I don't think I have one.
Oh my gosh, fearless. This is the first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you describe your job using only emojis?
the thinking emoji. Definitely sometimes the faceplant emoji, the crying emoji, the happy emoji, and on Fridays, the dancing girl emoji.
There you go.
Eat out or in for the, hold on. Eat out or in the office for lunch?
Out. I got to get out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a go-to place?
Whataburger, Stacy.
So good.
Yes.
So good.
Had that today.
Yum.
Red or green?
Green all day.
Is that it? I feel like we have more questions.
Work in the office or from home?
Home, definitely.
No hesitation.
None.
Favorite part of your job?
Working with all you fantastic people.
Look at you.
Seriously.
You're so sweet.
Y'all make a day go by pretty quick, and some days you're like, dang it, I wish I could hang out with them more often.
Same. Well, thank you so much for being with us
thank
and
you,
sharing your
Stacy.
story.
Thank you, Stacy, Veronica, John. Appreciate y'all having me on the show with y'all today.
It was fun. Thank you.
It was.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been a New Mexico Department of Workforce Solutions production. Our producer is Milo Koleski. This episode was engineered and mixed by John Sloan. Theme music is One Fine Day, courtesy of podcast.co. Follow the show on social media at GoodJobNM. For program funding, visit our website, dws.state.nm.us/funding. Bye!